me. Thanks for coming. I got these on much easier 20 years ago, I can tell you that. My name is Larry Jay Tish. My name is Michael Dwyer, and Larry and I are both very concerned about nuclear weapons. We know it's a little disconcerting to show up at the old chapel, maybe even the new chapel. The new chapel. Renovating, okay, good. And you find a couple of people in hazmat suits, masks, and Geiger counter. You know, the Geiger counter is the click, click, click of the sound of death. It's an audible biopsy of the radioactive poison that's in your body from the exposure to a nuclear blast. That's the bad news. The good news is that you don't have to carry around a 1954 model Geiger counter anymore. Because today, you could get a 2026 model. Very handy, right?
Yes. Actually, you can actually get a Geiger counter app for your phone, but the size and the impact of modern nuclear weapons, unfortunately, you would be dead and your whole family would be dead before you got a chance to open your app. And your phone would be fried also. So that's not going to work. So we'd like to quote Annie Jacobson from her recent bestseller called Nuclear War, a Scenario.
All right. A 1 megaton thermonuclear weapon detonation begins with a flash of light and heat so tremendous it is impossible for the human mind to comprehend. 180 million degrees Fahrenheit is 4 or 5 times hotter than the temperature that occurs at the center of the Earth's sun.
Thank you. That's hot.
It's really hot.
Really. Right?
Hot sauce hot.
And as Paul Hamm says in his seminal work, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, real story of the nuclear bomb.
There were hundreds of thousands who survived exposure to one, or in a few cases both, of the bombs. And of those who did not die of radiation sickness, life would never be the same. While some managed to have basically normal or even happy lives, for many or most, there was a huge lifelong trauma of radiation-related diseases, disfigurement, social ostracization, suicide, and other forms of misery. PTSD hadn't even been defined, but in some ways, the lucky ones were vaporized.
So one of the reasons Larry and I are working to rid the planet of nuclear weapons is reflected in the words of the Japanese Buddhist educator and peace activist Jose Toda.
Every human being has a right to life, and nuclear weapons threaten that right.
Thank you. Pretty simple, right? So before we go any further with our presentation, we want to kind of take a survey, see what you guys already know about nuclear weapons, what you know, what you don't know. And in order to do that, we're going to play everybody's favorite game. Know Your NUKES. With our host,
Thank you. Hello, sir. Thanks for coming. We must be a master student. Whoa, over there. Hey, everybody, everyone, Friday. We're going to play Know Your NUKES together. Know Your NUKES. All right. Easy game. Easy. We're going to put some questions up there in the big board. If you think you know the answer, just raise your hand. I'll get to as many of you as I can. Now, everyone who plays gets a prize. Thanks to Dollar Tree and Happy. Okay. So, I need a volunteer to help me with this bag. This is quite heavy. Do I have a volunteer to help with the prizes?
needs a volunteer.
Volunteer, volunteer.
This young
Hey, hello! I know, dude. Give it up. Can I put this tape on you? What's your name, young man?
Jack.
Jack. Where you from, Jack?
Cape Cod.
Cape Cod. Wow. You do any fishing down there?
Oh yeah.
All right. What do you study in school?
I'm a theater major.
Perfect. When's your next show?
No plans yet.
Okay, good. Jack. Jack, what's your last name?
Gamble.
Don't gamble on Jack Gamble. Just come to see him, everybody. All right, great. Here you go, Jack. Hold on there for me. Appreciate your help. It's a little heavy. Careful. Okay, first question, please. How many nuclear weapons are on the planet? Just raise your hand. Just raise your hand. Yes. How many? 100. That's right. No, correct answer. Ramen noodles. All right. Next question, please. How many countries have nuclear weapons? Yes.
9.
9. Bingo. Off-brand Pringles. All right. Next question, please. Who are the 9 countries? Who can name all 9 countries with nuclear weapons? No doctoral students allowed. 9. We want to try? I'll give you a shot. Yes.
I'll do my best.
Okay.
Best guess. United States of America.
Yes.
France.
Yes.
Russia.
Good.
Israel.
Yes.
Oh God. North Korea.
Good.
Is China the rest of them?
What's that?
Is China.
China. Yeah, they got good ones. Yeah. 6.
Gosh.
Yeah.
India.
India. 7. 2 more.
Pakistan.
One more. Our favorite buddies of our president. Come on, they play golf together, I think. It's okay. Little communists, little complicated out. Oh, you said North Korea. Oh, what's it listen?
Important U.S. ally.
Oh, okay, U.S. ally. UK, all right. Yeah. Oh. Puddin', all right. Thank you very much. All right, next question, please. Oh, there you go. There's the number they have to, yes. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. Oh, test. How many nuclear bombs have been tested on American soil? Mostly in Nevada, New Mexico. Are you guessing? 8.5 wrong? Okay, good guess. Oh, all right, that's all right. All right, good guess. You get a moon pie. All right. Another guess? Yes?
1,032.
Correct! Come on, Jack. 1,032, 1,032.
This is a sum of the
Off-brand Pop-Tarts, all right! Okay, Mike, what are you saying?
I was saying, these are the sum of the places of the 1,032 where they've tested drop nuclear weapons on American soil. From the 50s all the way up to 1992, they were still testing. Some people want to continue testing, but we don't want that to happen. Okay, next question.
What is the only country that has experienced the horrors of nuclear weapons during both war and peace? Give someone else a chance. He knows a lot of answers. Come on. We know this. Adam. Japan, yeah! I don't know what it is. What is your tagline? Pringles. Off-brand Pringles! Okay. What anime television series placed near the Bikini Atoll in the Marshall Islands? We got outdated. Who knows? Yes. SpongeBob SquarePants. Bikini Atoll. Oh, what do you got? Okay. Take the Pop-Tarts back. You get some Pop-Tarts. All right. Okay. Next. In what comedy movie classic does a mentally unstable American general order a hydrogen bomb attack on the Soviet Union, triggering a global nuclear holocaust? Some of you, all right, I know you know. Who doesn't know? If you haven't seen this movie, you're going to want to watch it after this. Yes? Dr. Strange. The Peter Stellar. Off-brand Pop-Tarts.
Fun footnote, the fans of Daniel Ellsberg famously said this movie is, look at it as it's a documentary, not a satire. More stories. Okay, next question. Yes.
Broken arrow. is defined as an incident involving a U.S. nuclear weapon or warhead that results in A, radioactive contamination, B, seizure, theft, or loss, C, accidental or unauthorized launching, firing, or use, or all of the above.
Young man.
Yes?
Accidental or unauthorized launching, firing, or use?
Oh, okay, good guess, though, good guess, good guess. Wrong.
No way.
All right. Another guess, another guess. Yes. All of the above. Oh, Swedish fish. Yay. Okay. Now, those are the real ones. Nice. How many broken arrows have occurred? So this is when we've gone very close to nuclear war by mistake or accident. But thanks to, I'm sorry, I'm going to call on you. What are the three reasons?
A few cool heads at key moments, blind luck, and divine intervention.
That's why it never didn't happen. Thank you very much.
General Lee Butler, who was the commander of the chief chair, said that.
We couldn't be here today.
The safe bet, any question regarding nuclear weapons, go with the highest number. They're usually going to be correct.
How many broken arrows? Who hasn't got a prize? Who wants to guess? You shot, or you can. You know. What number? 32! Yay! Swedish fish. Swedish fish! Back to Rangelo.
I don't know.
Okay.
Final question.
Is it possible to live in a world without nuclear weapons? True, false, maybe?
Not together now. Never hesitate. True.
There's more. I'm going to put it on the back table. You can take as you leave tonight if you're hungry, even if you're not hungry. Thank you for playing Know Your NUKES. Take it away. Give it up again. Yeah.
Good evening and welcome to the Not Too Late Show.
Hey, who is this guy?
He is a leader in 2 Nobel Peace Prize-winning organizations.
I'm Dr. Ira Helfand with the top 10 reasons why we need to get rid of nuclear weapons. Number 10, you can't cuddle with a nuclear bomb. Number 9, they cost trillions of dollars, don't come with a cup holder, and there's no warranty. Number 8, deterrence works until it doesn't. Number 7, nuclear war will kill hundreds of millions of people in a single afternoon. So if you're planning a dinner party, be sure you check the DEFCON level first. Number 6, nuclear war will cause massive radioactive contamination that will affect all living things. Even New York City cockroaches will bite the dust. Number 5, if we have a nuclear war, we'll pass nothing on to our children and grandchildren. No heirlooms, no furniture, just a glowing crater and a melted CD of Home Alone 2. Number 4, those who survive will live in a desolate wasteland that will make the Stone Age look like Times Square on a Saturday night. Number 3, if we have a nuclear war, everything humanity has ever created, from the Mona Lisa to pizza, from cave paintings to cat videos, it'll all be gone. Number 2, mutually assured destruction. That's our actual policy. That's what we call it. It's not a defense plan. It's a suicide pact with better branding.
Mutually assured destruction. It's got a ring to it, doesn't it? Boom, baby! Now that's a name that grabs you.
And the number 1 reason why we need to get rid of nuclear weapons. The power to end the world rests with a couple of dozen people in 9 countries. They actually hold all 8 billion of us hostage. And we're just supposed to hope they don't wake up cranky some morning.
Actually, there's nothing funny about the nuclear threat. Security experts tell us that we're closer to nuclear war than we've ever been. And medical and climate experts tell us that if we do have a nuclear war, it's going to be more catastrophic than we can possibly imagine. But it doesn't have to happen. We can eliminate nuclear weapons before they eliminate us, if we all get involved. For more information, contact Back from the Brink at www.preventnuclearwar.org. Thank you.
Special thank you to Dr. Ira Helfand, who I think will be joining us later tonight. I know there are a lot of fans of his in the audience.
Hello? My name's Tom. Call me Tom. I'm a fisherman. Oh, I love to fish. I'm going to tell you a fish story about the one that got away. This thing was, I mean, it was a big fish. Hey, what do fish have to do with nuclear weapons? That's what I'm going to tell you. Yeah, now, this isn't about, like, Jaws. That's another fish story, right? There he is. It's a big fish. It's a monster.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
You're gonna need a bigger boat. Well, this is about a boat. An old Japanese wooden fishing boat. The Lucky Dragon #5. The crew, 23 young Japanese fishermen. Most of them 19, 20, 21 years old. Kind of like most of you. Lucky Dragon. Not so lucky on that day. March 1st, 1954. On the Bikini Atoll near the Marshall Islands. There they were, doing what they do. Fishing, feeding families, living by the tides, the moon, not politics. 6:45 a.m., just before dawn. They had just laid their long line tuna hooks. This job takes 6, 7, 8 hours. They were relaxing, having breakfast. Raw fish and rice balls. Yeah, delicious, delicious. And they were happy too, good spirits. It was the last day of their long, grueling, and dangerous 6-week journey out of Yazoo City. And then, boom. We test our biggest bomb ever. The hydrothermal Castle Block. Is it stuck? Not cooperating. Okay? Shit happens when you play with nuclear weapons. It's all right. Give it a sec. We should continue. Okay? Anyway, we test our biggest bomb ever, the thermonuclear Castle Bravo. 1,000 Hiroshimas in one breath. Someone thought we needed a bigger bomb. Well, how big is big enough? They didn't know what it was. They thought the sun was rising in the west. Some of them screamed, "Pick it down! Pick it down!" That translates to flash boom. That's what the survivors of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, that's how they describe it. Pick it down. What?
The captain gave the
The
order.
captain gave the order, "Ikoyo!" which translates, in my Brooklyn English, to, "We need to get the fuck out of here." So they start pulling the lines frantically. Now sharks, they go after this tuna bait too. So sometimes coming on board, they'll flip a shark. If you're not careful, it'll bite your arm right off. And then, about an hour later, this white powder starts falling. Beautiful. And a sick kind of white. At first, they thought it was snow. Snow. Later they called it Shinohai, death ash. Vaporized coral turned to deadly radioactive poison. Let's talk about fallout for a minute, huh? Real fallout. Not the textbook paragraph, 2 sentences tucked between Hiroshima and Chernobyl. I'm talking about the kind that sticks to your skin, crawls into your bones, and rots your liver while the world looks the other way. Their skin burned, their hair fell out, they bled from places you should never leave. But they didn't know. Nobody told. We knew, oh yeah, we knew, but we didn't say a word. And their catch, the prize yellowfin tuna, glowing with death. Fucking glow in the dark tuna. They make their way home, bandaged, burnt, sick, 12 days at 8 to 10 knots. It's about 10 miles an hour. Lucky Dragon was built for endurance, not speed. Within hours of arriving in Yaesu, they are transported to a Tokyo hospital. Within days, the world is watching. We can't hide it anymore. The hydrogen bomb Pandora's box is open. Sorry, President Eisenhower, you screwed up. There was a fishing boat there, you schmuck. They said they felt more like lab rats than people, patients, being treated for radiation sickness. 6 months into their hospital stay, the older statesman of the crew, the radio man, a father figure for a lot of these guys, 40-year-old Akichi Fujian, he dies in untreatable agony and pain with his 3 daughters, wife, and mother by his side. Radiation poisoning sucks. His organs, they turn to mush. His last words, filled with compassion. I pray that I am the last victim of an atomic or hydrogen bomb. 9 months later, after 15 months in the hospital, these other 222 crew were released. Yippee, we're going home, baby! Yeah, not so fast. They're not welcome home. They're tainted goods. Contaminated, hibakusha, bomb-affected people. 9 years after Hiroshima and Nagasaki, we did it to the Japanese again. None of them go home. They all have to find work elsewhere. They suffer their whole lives with radiation poisoning, cancers, liver disease, fatigue, depression. Oishi Matsushichi, he was a freezer man that day, 19 years old. He moves to Tokyo, he runs a laundry, and leaves his beloved sea behind. He gets married. A few years later, his wife gives birth to their first child. Stillborn. No heartbeat. No face. Just another fish story, right? Bunch of young guys out fishing for tuna. Except the ocean didn't kill them. The sharks didn't maim them. They never saw it coming. You know, you never do with nukes. So if you're out here later on the common and you're walking around and you see a flash and you hear a boom, kiss your ass goodbye. Happy fishing.
If you want to learn more about the Lucky Dragon fishing boat.
Little tech problems, all right.
Little tech problem.
Thank you very much.
I'll tell you later. It didn't matter. So if you want to learn more about the Lucky Dragon, Oishi, not the Chief, wrote this book, The Famous Submarine in the West. his memoir, and actually it was his final dying words, "We shares the scare," which inspired this presentation tonight.
He also, so was the freezer man whose first child was born, stillborn. We asked the doctor if he could see the baby. The doctor said, "You don't want to see the baby." He really didn't have a face. None of these guys spoke for decades because they were bakusha, so we want people to know. He finally spoke up a couple decades later. He met a young girl who was blind, and she wanted to know what the boat looked like. He was talking to her about this, and he built her a boat. See the beautiful boat he built her, and she was putting her hands on it. He was watching her, and that moved him so much he decided, I have to talk, I have to speak to young people. And he spoke for decades to young people at the Geiger in Tokyo, and his dying words would be serious disease. Thank you.
So, next up, I'm going to share a 20-minute short documentary that I made a few years back on this woman, Tamika.
Larry Jay, who's a retired physician from right here in Western Mass. He is a tireless advocate for nuclear disarmament. He's a member of the International Steering Group of the International Campaign to Abolish Nuclear Weapons, which was the recipient of the 2017 Nobel Peace Prize. And he's also the immediate past president of the International Physicians for the Prevention of Nuclear War, the founding partner of ICANN, and itself the recipient of the 1985 Nobel Peace Prize. And he's also active with the Back to Nuclear campaign in the U.S. So without further ado, let's welcome James O'Rourke.
So, can you guys hear me? I don't have a very loud voice. And if it drops down, you can't just wait for something, so I'm going to speak louder. And you know, I think the title for this program, "The Seriously Scared," is just exactly right. We should in general be very frightened in the world we live in. But the last couple of weeks, we should be terrified. And when we have a war going on between two nuclear armed states, both the United States, against Iran. There's another war going on between nuclear armed Russia and Ukraine. India and Pakistan are coming up to the first year anniversary of their war last year. Two nuclear armed states that fought each other. And on top of all of it, we've got the United States president who seems increasingly divorced from reality, who talks about the death of an entire civilization as though it's kind of a joke, and has his finger on a button to launch 5,000 nuclear warheads. And we have to understand that this is not some kind of abstract problem that people used to worry about 40 years ago during the Cold War. We don't have to care about it anymore. We are, our campaign is called Back from the Brink. That's who we are. We are literally at the brink of nuclear. And we're going about our lives as though this problem didn't exist. And that really has to change, and it has to change quickly. Back during the Cold War, everybody understood how enormous the danger was. And we were terrified. There were movies about nuclear war, there were books about nuclear war, there were concerts about nuclear war, and we all had nightmares about nuclear war. And it was very unpleasant, it was very scary, but it was the right reaction to the situation because things really were very dangerous. And because we were so frightened, we took action. And literally, millions of people here in the United States, but more millions in Europe, in Australia, in Japan, and even the Soviet Union, were demanding an end to this insane nuclear arms race that was bringing us down and down, bringing destruction. When the whole war ended, we just all put this out of mind. People of my age just, I think, made an almost conscious decision. The whole war's over, we dodged the bullet, we're not going to worry about this anymore. And to our great discredit, we never taught people of the younger generation about this danger. So you guys have grown up in a world which has got lots of other problems that have been on your mind. But the fact that the nuclear war can actually take place really has to occupy a very prominent part of your worldview. And as a result of that, we don't have at the moment in the United States today, or any place else in the world, a significant movement to move us away from nuclear war. And as I said, that has to change. Even as we have forgotten that this danger exists, we have definitely forgotten how bad nuclear war can be. There was some very terrifying pictures on that movie of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And you know, these images, I promise our live also last year during the 80th anniversary of the bombings, they're incredibly powerful warnings to us about what nuclear weapons can do. But what we really need to understand is they don't begin to prepare us. The bomb that destroyed Hiroshima was 15 kilotons, 15,000 tons of conventional explosive equipment. Most of the bombs in the U.S. and Russia in this area are 100 to 800 kilotons, 6 to 50 times more powerful than the bomb that destroyed Hiroshima, and there's some that are even larger. If we get into a war with Russia, it's not going to be one Hiroshima Nagasaki bomb at one city. It's going to be a lot of bombs and a lot of cities. And the destruction that will cause is really beyond our imagination. You know, a big city like New York, there'll be a firestorm, 32 miles across. The entire metropolitan area, 800 square miles. Within that entire area, the temperature will rise to 1,400 degrees Fahrenheit. All the oxygen will be consumed, and every living thing will die. 15 million people dead in a half a year. And it would be like that in every major city in the United States, and in Russia, and China's involved in the war in China. And all told, we're talking about the potential for 200 to 300 million people dead in an afternoon. And if any of us are surviving the things of fight, we're going to find ourselves in a situation that is again beyond our imagination. None of the things that we require to keep ourselves alive are going to be there. There's going to be no electricity, no cell phones, no internet, no food distribution system, no water, no public health system, no system to distribute gas and heat. And in the months following that initial wave of death, the vast majority of people who survive the first day will also die. They're going to die from starvation, from radiation poisoning, from epidemic disease, from exposure to the elements. And so far, I've just been talking about what happens in the war. But all of these fires, with enormous amounts of soot, the upper atmosphere. The war between the United States and Russia at today's level of armament is about 150 million tons of soot in the upper atmosphere. And that blocks out the sun, and it drops temperatures across the entire planet an average of 18 degrees Fahrenheit. In the interior regions of North America and Eurasia, the temperatures drop 45 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and it stays cold like that for decades. And we haven't seen conditions like that on Earth in 18,000 years, since the coldest moment of the last ice age. And under these conditions, most of the ecosystems which have evolved since the end of that ice age will collapse. Food production across the entire planet will stop. And according to a paper that was published in December of 2022, 3.5 years ago, in the first 2 years after this war, 3/4 of the human race, 6 billion people will starve. That same study also looked at what would happen in a more limited war. It might have taken place last week in Pakistan. And it's the same story. It's not quite as bad, but the famine is bad enough to kill in the first 2 years 2 billion people, a quarter of human race, including 130 million people in the United States and about 4 or 5 million in Massachusetts. And these studies only look at the first 2 years. The famine goes on beyond that. We don't know if they'll be done. Now, this is not like the plot of a movie. This is the danger we're living with every day. If things go wrong tonight, in the strand of movies, this is what the development of the next stage. If Putin finds himself cornered in Ukraine, this is what could happen over the next stage. If India and Pakistan go to war again, this is what can happen. And we have to understand that we haven't survived this long nuclear weapons age because we know what we were doing. It's not because nuclear weapons, as we're sometimes told, possess this magic quality that guarantees they're never used. We're here today, we survived, in the words of former U.S. Defense Secretary Robert Adler, simply because, quoting him, we lucked out. There was luck to prevent a nuclear war. And we have to understand our luck is going to last forever. If we don't get rid of these weapons, it is not a question of if we have nuclear war. It is only a question of when this happens. Now, this is a lot of bad news that we all have to digest and live with. But there's some very, very important good news, which is this doesn't have to happen. The This is not the future that must be. Nuclear weapons, if they're not forced to it's not as though there's an asteroid these are little machines that can work with their own hands. Most women are about the size of the chairs you see. We've dismantled 50,000 of them since the height of the Cold War. We know exactly how to dismantle the 12,000 of them. We do it in about 3 or 4 years. In a process that will take place on military bases in 9 countries that have these weapons. But we didn't have the rest of us at all. We didn't even know what's happening, except to read about it in the newspapers. It's that easy to get rid of this problem. And we're not doing it. And we're not doing it because there is not a political will to make our governments do it. The 9 countries that have these weapons want to hold on to these weapons. They make these countries powerful. They enable the Russians to invade Ukraine without worrying the rest of the world is strong back. They enable the United States and Israel to attack Iran, knowing they have the drug problem. And that power is incredibly seductive. It's like the ring of power, the Lord of the Rings. Once they have it, nobody wants to give it up. And they've convinced themselves, they've convinced us, that the strength these weapons convey is equal to safety. And that is the critical myth that we need to get to understand is not true. And much of human history probably was. If we were stronger than the enemy, if we had more powerful weapons, we probably were safer. But that logic doesn't imply that the weapons are so powerful that if we use them, we kill ourselves. And that's the truth. These are suicide bombs. If we attack Russia or China in a completely successful attack that does not allow a single Russian or Chinese weapon to get into the United States, the climate destruction caused by our own weapons will end up killing most of us. And that is the reality which we need to get the population in general to understand, and the leadership of these young countries to understand. We need to believe we can do it. Here in the United States, we have such a started small back from quickly. We started here in actually at SLM Cafe in 2017. It's grown into a national movement with 26 hubs, chapters in cities across the country. There's a student component of the Students of Nuclear Disarmament, which has chapters on 22 campuses and 17 more in formation. It does not have a chapter in any of the schools that we're about, which I deeply ours to have. And I hope you guys help change. We have passed resolutions in 7 cities and towns around the country. We've passed resolutions in 5 states. We have a opinion in Massachusetts. And there's something very specific that you want to do to help with this problem. You can call the President of the Massachusetts Senate, I'll give you the phone number in a minute, and ask for producer good offices to get the resolution we have before the Massachusetts Senate brought to a vote on the floor of the Senate. We have resolution in Congress. 57 members of the House of Representatives and 9 members of the Senate have signed on for these resolutions. It's a significant campaign. It needs to be much, much larger. And I hope that all of you will get involved and want to do something about this. Hearing about all this stuff, seeing these movies, it's kind of scary, as it should be. I think it puts a huge weight of responsibility on our shoulders. Because if we know the entire world is at risk, and we know that there's something we can do about it, then we have an obligation to act. We have an obligation to make sure this doesn't happen. And that feels to me, and I'm sure to you, as a very heavy responsibility. Important to remember, no one of us is expected to solve this problem alone. It's beyond us. But each one of us does need to do that part of the job which is ours to do. And if we all do that, I think we can be successful. If this is a responsibility, I think it's also something else. It's a gift. We all want our lives to matter. We want to do good for the world. Those of us who are living today have been literally given the opportunity to save the world. And there's nothing better than anything we ever do with this in life. And so I urge you all to become involved in this effort in that spirit. And if we all do what we're supposed to do, we are going to save the world. And we're going to feel real good about it. It's going to make our lives worthwhile. The website for the Back to the Ring campaign is easy to remember. It's preventnuclearwar.org. The website for Students of Nuclear Disarmament is the word students, the numeral 4, the word disarmament.org. And if anybody's interested, especially in trying to get a Students of Nuclear Disarmament chapter started here at UMass,
piece of fun we have to do because we really believe in such a building. And I was honored to be the first activist in residence of the Ellsberg Initiative 3 years ago. I was on campus for a whole week, and we got a chapter started and feeling really since, so that's cool. And, it's a very difficult situation.